Hey everyone, just want to do a quick video. Due to post-fight high and people needing to get over their emotions, and even myself, guys. I do this even for myself, so I'm not trying to really talk crap about people. But you already see the ludicrous that's all on the internet. You got dudes who are so butthurt, they're doing things like posting their personal, conversations over text that they had with Terrence Crawford just to get attention. You know, we're already forgetting about Errol Spence and we're trying to move to the next boogeyman. And that's kind of what we want to talk about in this video, because some people in the comment sections have even asked me, how do I feel about this guy Boots or this person or that person. So Boots, he's a good fighter. The significant edge and why he's a bigger threat than Errol Spence, of course, is punch placement timing. But Boots does make a ton of mistakes. What they used to say about Bud, or what they probably still say about Bud, is he gets hit too much. Boots actually is a guy that you can say gets hit too much. And you got to look at the competition that is hitting him. These are guys that are basically there to be sacrificed to Boots to make him look like this, unstoppable force. But we've already seen a few blips, the George Sosa fight, and the Karen fight, and even in his last fight, everybody was pumping it up. But I mean, if we did a film study on that, I could show you where he actually got stunned a couple times during the fight. And that guy he fought's not, he's a straight up and down fighter, doesn't really have superior timing. But we've been seeing how Boots, and he makes the same mistake over and over again. He has a puncher's chance because he does have more power than Errol Spence. And again, punch placement timing. And we told you that's going to be the attribute that gives Terrence Crawford trouble, when he finally fights someone who has that same ability. Again, he hasn't had to really worry about it because Sean Porter don't have punch placement timing. Kell Brook did. We saw he gave Terrence Crawford a couple fits early on. But people, they typically, some people, they just don't have that attribute, especially at a high level like a Boots. And we say the same thing for Virgil Ortiz. Before Virgil Ortiz started having health issues, I actually saw him as the hardest fight for Terrence Crawford. He has a long jab. He knows how to time it and place it as well. And then when he gets into his rhythm, he gets to a point where he can mask it and he can, start hooking off it upstairs and downstairs. He has far more superior punch selection. Both guys, Ennis Boots and Virgil Ortiz, have superior punch selection over Errol Spence. And like I said, both guys, Virgil as well, he's kind of underrated. When he starts getting again into that type of rhythm where he starts leaning forward and you think the jab's coming, he can throw the straight right or the right hook to the body, or like I said, he can be a little bit more creative than a lot of guys give him credit for. His only issue is that he's a slugger. He's a home run hitter, and that leaves him open to get countered and to get hurt himself. But he's a pretty big, long dude. That was the guy who I saw was giving Terrence Crawford his hardest fight at 147, but now he's having health issues and things like that. I don't know if it's due to the weight cuts or not. But those two I see as the biggest threat for Terrence Crawford, of course. I mean, we told you Keith Thurman and those dudes, they're not real fighters. They fight, yeah, sure, guys, I get it. But you guys are starting to learn the make-believe aspect of boxing and how they hype these people up. Sean Porter, again, Danny Garcia, Keith Thurman, those were the only guys that got the fight for belts. Then Errol finally got his opportunity. Then the cycle, restarted again. Danny Garcia and Sean Porter, same people that are only being allowed to fight for the belts. And these guys that get plenty of opportunities, and you find out over a 10-year span that Sean Porter's only a two-time champ, to me, that's not good. To this new generation, you guys will believe anything. And I'm just using Sean Porter as an example, but again, we've told you in the past that a guy like Zab Judah is a 5-time champ. And plenty of you guys today just give Sean Porter Hall of Fame, and you're kind of crapping on all these other fighters before him just because, you only grew up with PBC and you really value Al Heyman's system, which I don't. But those two, yeah. But Bud, I got him beating Boots, to me, again, Boots is easier than Virgil. I know people aren't going to agree with that. You see the athleticism and how he showboats and things. But I'm trying to tell you, Virgil would give Terrence Crawford, healthy Virgil, has more of a chance of beating Terrence Crawford than Ennis Boots, guys. You guys need to start doing your research before, a lot of you just jumped off one bandwagon. You need to do more research before you jump on another. That's all I got to say. Jermell Charlo. Now, a lot of people are already writing Jermell Charlo off, but unlike Errol Spence, again, Jermell actually has special effects, guys. He has hand speed. Again, he knows how to punch people or counter people in between punches as well. He does. He knows how to catch guys in the exchange. He has explosiveness, you understand, power. And like I said, he may not be as fast as first, but when he does like snap into it and just lands the explosive punch, it's very fast, has high velocity, and it hurts people. You know what I'm saying? That fight's harder than Errol Spence as well. Terrence Crawford, the way that he fought Errol, I think the same way he can dismantle Jermell Charlo. But another thing that Jermell has better than Errol Spence, he actually has somewhat of a back foot game, and that might give Terrence Crawford problems. Like Errol Spence, he was the bigger man. He could have used his height and things like that to kind of assist his performance, but he's never been taught that stuff. He can't fight going backwards. Jermell actually can, and he can actually make someone walk into a trap and set them up and things like that. So the level of difficulty is definitely more in that Jermell Charlo fight than Terrence Crawford. If Terrence Crawford doesn't watch out, if he's just in there coming off a high off this Errol win, man, you could be shocked by a Jermell, even a Jermell coming off a loss and moving back down to 154. So, but Crawford, I don't have to worry about that type of stuff. We always told you he's never going to let an opportunity, slip out of his hands. He's going to have to get old overnight and things like that. But he's just so smart right now. I saw some B-hop in that last fight too. I saw some pretty crazy things in that fight, and I'm still amazed by what I watched. We told you it was going to be Floyd Mayweather versus Corrales-esque performance. But he managed to implement a little bit of Floyd Gotti in there too. And like I said, I saw some B-hop in there too. I saw some B-hop versus Kelly Pavlik and things like that. Just, I don't know. That one was, clearly it's already in the history books. A lot of people are still writing off the high. But yeah, the Ennis, again, he just makes too many mistakes. If you watch how Gary Russell Jr.'s brother fought him, you'll see that just last fight that Crawford basically utilized that same kind of style that was similar to that. Gary Russell Jr.'s brother used to always beat Boots, and he still has the same issues today that he had back then as an amateur. He's trying to save face too much, especially after he gets hit. You can't do that versus Terrence Crawford, a guy whose punch is going to affect you. So, Virgil, again, if he gets crazy and he tries to slug with with the master slugger, again, he could get caught. But yeah, if he used his length, fought behind that jab and things like that, they're just more dynamic than Spence. Those are going to be some pretty tough fights. Those are going to be along, the Mean Machine type fights where you're just dealing with the guy who, has done their homework and things, and they have underrated tools. I'm trying to think what else. Oh, I did drop the highlight video. You guys can view it. That link will be in the description. I'm not mad, I'm a content stiller just like everybody else. So I get it. YouTube, nobody's mad at you. I did pay $90 for a fight though, so I should have that fight. I don't like this new pay-per-view where you get one view and you're paying this much money. I want my copy of the fight, you know what I'm saying? But again, I'm not mad. They blocked it, and I didn't get hit with a copyright strike or nothing, but still. For me, it's more so for the fans, and I thought it was pretty fun, but that link is in the description. The Errol Spence fans, again, you guys are trying to get this man hurt and killed. And Crawford, he's already starting to get mad and annoyed. You know, he sees the nonsense that's going on too, and I don't think he's going to take mercy on Spence next fight. He's not going to play around. You guys are still trying to tell yourselves that it was just a matter of timing. We told you leading up to this whole fight that, you know, punch placement and timing is going to be a huge reason. You know, it's going to be a very big, important role in this fight because you guys, he's never fought no one. He doesn't have punch placement and timing. And like I said, we kind of briefly touched over this before, but when you guys are in training camp, especially if you do something dumb and you're going back with Derrick James, a guy who don't know how to help you, you guys are just going to be covering the vast gap that was in the first fight. And Crawford didn't even unveil the rest of his tool bag on you, man. I'm trying to tell you, he just beat you off 2 tools. You guys are going to have to actually try to cover so much ground. You know, it's like trying to cover a doctorate degree in a span of just a couple of months for a big test and see if you can pass if you're qualified. You're not going to do it, man. You're not going to do it. You've practiced too long being an inaccurate puncher. Even your jab is not designed to hit people in the face. When I watched these Spence fights, and even when I was making this highlight film, I was going to be like, people are going to say this is biased, but I'm not. You know, typically in a Spence fight, he throws a lot of punches that get blocked and things like that, you know, because he wants to beat people down and things like he hasn't taught himself how to be an effective, accurate puncher that can hit openings and sees openings like a Terrence Crawford. You're not going to learn that, especially coming off this devastating loss. Like, it's an impossibility, man. And if he does take this rematch, dude, you fans are doing Errol a huge disservice, man. You really are. Dude, I hope Crawford just goes in there and finishes him quick, you know, and not put the beating on him like he did in the first fight. He could have ended that fight, guys, in the 3rd round. You understand? In the 2nd round, if there was more time, he definitely could have ended that fight. And it would have been better for Errol Spence if that did occur. But Crawford did kind of, you know, he did kind of, I think, drag it on a little bit. He was playing with his food a little bit. But, again, he didn't even really go to the body. I think he only landed like 18 body shots. The body shots that did land, I know they had an effect on Spence. I saw it as I was doing my highlight film. You know, you're just going over the footage back and forth or whatever. But, no, this is just, it's stupid. It's plain dumb at this point. You're not ready for this fight. You shouldn't let these fans and anybody else influence you, man. Money isn't everything. You guys just made $21 million gate. I thought I saw in 700,000 pay-per-view buys. This fight was almost a $100 million fight, you know? So I think health right now should be priority over another, you know, quick paycheck, man. And I get it, you know, but you got people out here claiming to be doctors on the internet claiming, you know, that you're done and everything else. And, you know, I was going to talk about that, but I just see it mostly as a way to discredit what Terrence Crawford did. Sean Porter, and that was before the car wreck, he was able to buzz Errol Spence just by hitting him on the top of the head in the 4th round. You know, again, you're going to get this type of speculation. Obviously, the man's been in car wrecks, so I think there's a little bit of truth to all this, but they're also kind of over-exaggerating things as well. Errol Spence always had slow reaction time. Sean Porter fight showed you that. He went pretty much life and death with Sean Porter. You finally fought a guy who actually has power again, punch placement, things like that, who's able to exploit you. You know, people, they're just not over the deception of this fight. And this is what I'm saying. They try to create people today. They don't let them organically become stars. And, you know, they make milk cows. They don't make cash cows anymore. And you get lucky where you can have a fight like this that you built up for so long. But, and this is even like guys like Lomachenko and things like that. These dudes, they're just not what they're marketed as. They're not. You know what I'm saying? And when you see a 30 3-year-old who hasn't even fought a power puncher yet. That should be send a red flag to you. You guys need to be examining the resumes and things like that when they're fighting these guys. You know, the timing is everything in boxing, you know, and you don't need a guy like Al Haymon to go in front of a camera and do an interview. You can just see Al Haymon's thought process and what he does just by how he moves his fighters, and that tells you everything you need to know about Al Haymon. I can tell that Al Haymon's a mama's boy, for example. You can just tell by the way he moves. But I'm trying to think what else I was going to talk about. These fanboys, again, they just will not learn. They refuse to get better. They still want to believe in this false idol that they, you know, propped it up in Errol Spence. And it's to the point where it's damaging to Errol Spence. You guys ain't doing him any favors, man. You guys need to stop, okay? You need to let it go. And you need to start pushing Errol towards a more positive direction in his life, man. Because, again, we've already told you this. You guys are the biggest problem. You guys never held him accountable and things like that. And PBC, they don't care. They don't care about Errol Spence. I'm telling you that right now. They just want to get their money, get their checks. They're going to throw him out there again, pump his head up. I saw Sean Porter even pushing this narrative that he has a better chance in the rematch. Guys, this is what we've been talking about the entire time, dude. I'm so tired of make-believe. And even for a guy like Errol Spence, who I don't particularly like they're doing him wrong. You know, if they do make that rematch, I just hope Crawford finishes him quick and early, you know, and not cause any more damage to this guy. I also saw where he supposedly broke a rib during training camp, and he was the guy that was supposed to take Terrence Crawford's rib in his eyes. And guys, again, you just need to stop. And I'm going to tell you, if Errol Spence did get a broken rib, it was Terrence Crawford that did that to him. He landed some pretty vicious body punches. We're going to end the video here. We have anything more to talk about? You know, I did the highlight video. YouTube, of course, blocked it. It takes a while before they allow you to upload it to YouTube with no issues. And this time they definitely got me. We're still too close to the fight. But I recommend that you guys go to Odyssey. Click that link in the description. Just check it out. Again, I don't care much about the monetization or the money. I do want to say thank you to those who've donated to the channel. I do appreciate it. I really do. I usually don't drop that link because I'm not here trying to make money off YouTube, and I just feel kind of weird about it. But you guys do feel it in your nature to want to donate to the channel. I definitely appreciate it. Again, and I hope God bless you guys who did. Highly appreciate it. I really do. But yeah, go check out that highlight video. I suggest wearing some headphones or something. I'm not going to say too much about it. You guys know how I do highlight videos. So we'll talk to you guys later. Bye.